Stop suffering with hot AC. Cool it yourself with AC Pro. Just connect the hose, squeeze the trigger, and check the gauge. With 2 times the cooling boosters, enjoy the comfort of the #1 selling coldest air. Nothing cools like AC Pro.
Hey everybody, my name is Kyle Dennis and I've taken 15,000 into over 5 million trading stocks.
Hey! Hey! Make so loud. Feel the bass. Feel the bass inside. Hey! Inside. Hey! Inside. Hey! Inside. Feel the bass inside. Feel the bass inside.
They are nothing before me.
Feel the bass. Feel the bass inside. Hey! Inside. Hey! Inside. Hey! Inside. Feel the bass.
Plan your strategy. Upgrade your skills. Ascend your champions. And defeat your enemies.
Raid Shadow Legend.
So I thought it was high time I dig my own clay in my backyard. What I looked for was hard, weedless dirt clods that I could pick up with my hand. Fortunately, I had just dug a hole for another reason and had a pile of dirt and threw it in a bucket and added some water. I'm not convinced you need a special type of clay, or rather a special type of soil to get clay from your backyard. How I'm doing it, you should be able to get some sort of clay, regardless of how much is actually in your soil. So you see here I break up the clods of dirt and I let them sit, and my dog inspects. And I come back, making sure that it's all broken up. Once I see that the clumps are gone, I'll come back, I'll add some more water, and then we'll mix it before pouring off as much of the suspended clay as we can. So Once I've completely agitated the mix,
Smell
I set up a second clean bucket with a colander, and I pour off as much of the suspension as I can, leaving behind the larger rocks and sand at the bottom of the first bucket. So I've left this bucket sit for a day and a half,
the summoner's
and
rift.
it's starting to clarify already. You'll see here I pour off as much as I can. Most of the clay is stuck on the bottom of the bucket,
30 seconds until
and
minions
it
spawn.
doesn't really matter if you leave some of the water in. You can see at this point that the clay that is remaining is quite fine and smooth. The next step is to pour this mix into an old pillowcase, getting as much out as I can from the bottom of the
Minions
bucket.
have spawned.
And this is where this clay will spend the next few days, realistically a couple weeks, sitting around, sometimes drying in the sun, sometimes I'll put it in a wet box, but after a couple days it's condensed down to a fairly manageable damp lump. It's difficult because at this point it's firming up, rolling it around, patting it down.
Suffer my fury.
So I'm going to try throwing this clay two different ways. The first is simply by itself, so this is 100% an immaculate clay. I didn't know what to
The
expect
dragon
in
nears.
throwing this clay. Honestly, I didn't think that it was going to be much different than the clay I throw with every day. It was surprisingly different. It's very soft. It kind of has a dry skin to it. And it almost feels like the insides of the walls of these cups are filled with pudding or something. It moves funny, and it definitely was difficult to achieve in walls. You can see at one point I tried to use a torch to stiffen the wall, thinking that allow me to perform. Just didn't. The second way I wanted to use this clay was marbling it with my regular white studio clay.
Nothing like Captain Sleep. They should run now. On wings of fury.
Now this blend of clay grew much easier than using 100% backyard clay. It seemed to be a little bit more stiff, a little less.
By the blood of my father, I will end them.
You'll notice while I'm throwing that these brown slip covers the marbling, and it's not obvious that this is
Before battle.
a brown and white mix. It'll become more obvious when you take a whip to it and scrape away the top coat. and it'll become even better the next day.
The enemies of Demacia will fall. I smell fear.
So here it is, fresh off the wheel, after taking a metal rib to it. And here are the two pieces a few days later after they've gone through their bisque.
They smell end.
Give each of them a coating of clear, clear. Inside, and then marble piece. I'll rim dip it and bring it out over on the outside so we can see what it looks like.
Without remorse.
Here they are done. Color play. Noticing on the inside, you might not be able to see it on the camera, but there's some crazy cold water, they look good.
The RPG mobile hit of 2019. Now cross-platform on PC. Same great gameplay, all new animations and textures. Turn-based battle collection for serious RPG fans. A massive online community. Play better, play faster, play everywhere. Raid Shadow Legends, now on desktop.
This video was sponsored by Casper.com, the company that made my mattress, the one that my wife and I have been using for the last 2.5 years. I've put a link down in the description so you can get one of these super comfortable mattresses for yourself, and if you check out with the promo code The King of Random, you'll slash another $50 off the price. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the lab. I've got a very exciting DIY project for you today because I'm going to show you how to dig down into the depths of the earth and make your own clay. Now this project here was inspired a couple of years ago when I stumbled across a channel called Primitive Technology, all about a guy in Australia who goes out into the woods and uses nothing but the materials around him to build cool things like houses, looms, and even metal foundries. And the basis for all of his experiments involved clay. So a couple of years ago this really got me thinking, if we were stranded out in the middle of nowhere, what exactly would it take to make some good clay? That's exactly what we're exploring in this video today. Now to gather up the materials for this experiment today, I just went down to the local river and walked down beside the riverbed. Found a nice little place under the bridge where there's a lot of traffic, took a second to enjoy the scenery, and then started digging down into the dirt as close to the water as I felt comfortable. Now the reason I went for dirt by the riverbed is because clay is sedimentary, which means it flows down to the lowest point. And while I actually have extracted clay from dirt from my backyard, I find it's much better down by the river. So take a trip down to your local river, grab some dirt, and you want to be looking for the dirt that when you squish it, kind of has that plasticky feel. It sticks together into one big clump. If you find something like that, you're well on your way to making clay. So here we are, guys. We've got a nice little amount of dirt here, and the first thing you notice about it is it's not very clean. There's all kinds of rocks, there's sand, there's little sticks, there's stuff that's very, very dirty. And even though you can squish it and turn it into different shapes, it's not super clean. You see all the organics and those large chunks of rock sticking through. So to actually extract the clay out of this dirty mixture, we're going to need to put it through a very, very simple process. And the only thing we're going to need to make that happen are a couple of containers. So quick update, guys. You can see that I just added a little bit of water to this mixture, and I used my glove just to reach down there and stir it around. What we're actually doing is we're breaking up all the different pieces of the stuff. We've got rocks, we've got sand, we've got clay, we've got organic materials, and what happens is as we mix with water, they separate to their different layers. Now over time, the clay and sand all settles to the bottom, so what we want to do is stir this vigorously, we'll get everything suspended, and then give it about 5 seconds to settle, and then transfer all the liquid into a separate container. Watch what happens when we do. Sweet. Now if we stop pouring right here, you can see most of the heavy stuff is left behind. If we look down the bucket, you can see gravel, rocks, everything that's heavy. You can even see a bit of sand left here on the bottom of the bucket. We can essentially take this stuff and we can throw it away because we're not going to need these big rocks. What we're after now is all the stuff that's contained in this liquid here. Now the second pass is going to be a little bit different. We're going to need something like a strainer. You could use your shirt, you could use your socks, or in this case I'm just going to use a strainer for convenience. We're going to go ahead and clean out this container, then we're going to pour all this liquid through the strainer back into it, and hopefully that'll remove most of the organic material. Almost looks like concrete gravel. So I've washed and cleaned out this white bucket. We got our little strainer here. As I said, you can use your shirt or any kind of cloth material. We're just trying to strain out those organics. But remember that before we pour this solution through the strainer, it's very important to stir it up and agitate it so all those clay particles resuspend in the water once again. So you can see once we've strained everything out, we've got quite a bit of organic material left behind. We've got sticks, leaves, twigs, anything that's floating to the surface. And if you want to be extra cautious, you can go ahead and clean out your strainer. Starting to look a little like chocolate. What's interesting about this is every time we pour it back and forth, you notice there's some kind of a sandy residue left behind. And that's because the sand is actually heavier than the clay and it sinks down to the bottom from pouring it. So theoretically now, if we take 2 containers and simply transfer it back and forth, cleaning the sand out every time, eventually most of that sand is in a very fine site. So here we are, guys. What we've got now is a bucket full of clay water, essentially, that has a little bit of sand. We have used gravity and density of the materials inside to filter out rocks. We've used a strainer to filter off most of the organic materials, so now we just have a solution of clay suspended in water. And the longer we let this sit, the more of that sand and clay will drop down to the bottom. Now we don't want the clay to actually settle down yet, we want to extract that first. So all I'm going to do now is use these 2 containers to cycle them back and forth and extract the layers of sand each time we do. And while they're doing that, it's a good time to drop down to the description and click the link to check out Casper mattresses. My wife and I have been using our Casper mattress for over 2.5 years now, and to date, it is still the most comfortable mattress we've ever used. So here's the deal. While dirt, rocks, and clay are pretty cool to play with, they're not super comfortable to sleep on. And if you do some quick math, you'll realize about 1/3 of your life is spent in bed sleeping. Some people even more than that. So treat your body right and get your sleep in comfort. It's a very worthy investment. Casper is here to help making beautiful and comfortable mattresses even more affordable for you. When you click the link in the description and use the promo code TheKingOfRandom, you'll get another $50 off. And if you still need a little bit more convincing, check this out. Buying a Casper mattress is completely risk-free. You literally buy the mattress online, they deliver it to your house, you get to try it for 100 days to see if it's worth your money. If you don't end up liking it, they'll send someone to come pick it up and they'll refund all your money just like that. Of course, chances are you're gonna love it, and if you live in the US or Canada, they'll ship it to your house for free. It shows up at your door in a very small box that'll make you wonder how they even got it in there. I just stripped all the sheets off the bed, so you can see after 2.5 years, this is still the mattress that we're using. It is a really comfortable mattress, it's very enjoyable to sleep on, it's firm, but soft enough to get good sleep, and for some reason, whenever I sleep at somebody else's house or go to a hotel, I seem to get backaches, get a headache. That never happens with my mattress. I also like to sleep a bit cooler at night, I don't like to sleep in sweat, and this mattress is breathable, which helps prevent that from happening. Casper understands the importance of really loving your mattress before you fully sleep. By using the internet, they cut out the expensive retailers and pass the savings on to you. Their in-house team of engineers have spent thousands of hours developing the Casper to the point where it's considered obsessively engineered. And that's paid off because after over 25,000 reviews, it's got a rating of 4.9 stars and is quickly becoming the internet's favorite mattress. Casper is designed, developed, and assembled in the USA and uses a combination of supportive memory foams that give it just the right sink and just the right bounce. Plus, it's breathable and helps regulate your temperature throughout the night. So, in summary, you get a luxury mattress at an extremely fair price delivered right to your door so you can sleep on it for 100 nights and make sure you absolutely love it, and if you don't, they'll come pick it up and give you all your money back. So treat your body right and invest in a Casper mattress today. You've got nothing to lose and a lifetime of better sleeps to gain. The link is in the description. And with that said, let's get back to making our clay.
They should run now.
So there we have it, guys. I poured this back and forth about 4 times, taking out a little bit of fine sand each time we do. Now we can continue this process almost indefinitely, and we're just at this point getting out that really fine silt. But right here we have relatively clear, relatively fine clay water, and the only thing we really need to do with this now is set it down on the counter where it won't be disturbed for about an hour to give the layers a chance to separate. Just for fun, we had some leftover water, so I transferred that into another container. I'm just going to set these down right here so we can watch them over a period of time and see how they settle. Quick update, guys. We've let this sit for about 5 hours now. You can see the clay is so fine that it's actually taking quite a bit of time for the water to rise up even to this level. Now, if we let this sit for maybe a day or so, I'm sure that clay would compact even more and we'd have more water on top. However, there's a quicker way to extract water than that. Now, the first thing we need to do is get this water that we have on top off of the top, and there's a few ways we can do that. We can simply flip it over and pour it out, or we can use something like a siphon to try and suck it out. Now, either option is going to have its pros and its cons, but ultimately, all we want to do is make sure we get this clay here without any of this stuff here. So first things first, I'm just going to take this tall glass here. We're going to just tip this over very slowly, very carefully to get as much of that water on top as we can. I'm just going to pour off the top layer of that clay as well. Extract most of that water. We'll call that right there. Most of that's going to be really fine clay. You can see it's very, very moist, so we need to clean that up with the towel. Now, the second method of extracting this water is siphoning it. We can use this to suck the fluid up over here. So before it hits our mouth, we can dump it over here, and gravity will suck everything out. Very similar to a vacuum pump. Now, to get even more of the moisture out of our clay, we want to use something like a towel or a shirt, something that's very tight-knit and has a lot of fibers. In this case, I'm going to take this towel and I'm going to double it over on itself. We almost want to make a piece of fabric that the clay will not go through. We want all of it to stay inside if possible. We've got a little makeshift filter here. We're going to pour these in. Hopefully it's tight enough that it'll hold the clay inside. We can tie it up into a little ball. We can hang it up and let the atmosphere suck the moisture out of it for a few hours. Use this towel once. And hopefully this is thick enough that it's not actually going to go through the towel itself. We want to be able to pick this up into very little, if that's looking pretty good so far. Might even want to clamp that down. Obviously in the wild, in nature, you wouldn't have clamps, but you can improvise with something else. We just don't want the towel to actually suck down into the bucket. Here we go with round 2. Starting to get heavy now. Beautiful. There we go. There's all our clay in our towel. And we're just going to fold this up, tie it off, and hang it for a bit. Now, if everything goes well, we want to take all the edges of this towel, fold them all together, and make a nice little ball of liquid. Oop, that just fell in. It's okay, we can save it.
The dragon nears.
There we go. It's looking very good. Very good. All right, so we got our slip knot set. Now all we have to do is shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Doesn't have to be clean. There, what do you think? All right. So this is pretty much what we're going for, guys. We got our clay wrapped up inside the towel, and you can see some moisture dripping off, but a lot of that is relatively clean water. It doesn't have the clay in it because the clay is being trapped in the fibers. Now, if we just let this hang out for a couple of hours, most of that moisture is going to come out, and it should be left with guys, we are back. It's been about an hour now since we took our bag outside and let it hang off of the railing. Now, in the interest of time, I actually did squeeze the bag a little bit to help encourage a little bit of that moisture to come out a little bit quicker. In doing so, I sacrificed a little bit of the clay itself, but I don't think that's going to jeopardize the proof of concept. So here we are with our towel with most of the water squeezed out of it. If we open this up now and take a look inside, you can see a lot of the clay on the upper edges has started to harden up and is very plastic. The stuff on the inside, though, is still really liquidy. It's kind of like runny diarrhea. And if we left this out exposed to the air, eventually that moisture would evaporate and the clay would become hard. However, there is a way we can speed things up. There's a way we can cheat, and all we need is a little bit of paper towel. All we're going to do is rip off a few sheets of paper towel, fold it in half, and we're going to stick it down on the table like this. Then we're going to scoop up our clay, put it down in the center of our paper towel, and we're basically just going to flatten it out. The paper towel is going to absorb a lot of the moisture out of the clay, and as soon as it reaches the consistency we're looking for, we can peel off the paper towel and wrap our clay in saran wrap or a plastic bag. Now again, if you don't have a paper towel, all you have to do is just let this sit out in the open air a little bit longer and let it evaporate on its own. I'm just going to take a couple more sheets of paper towel, lay them over top to help flatten it out from the top side to help absorb the moisture a little bit quicker from over here as well. And now, as easy as that, oh wow, peel this back and take a look at this. We have some very nice, beautiful, ready-to-use clay. It peels off and molds in the palm of your hand. That is amazing. This stuff is very moldable. It's very easy to work with. It's very plastic. You can use very easy to just peel top side to help absorb a lot of the moisture out of the clay. And as soon as it reaches the consistency we're looking for, we can peel off the paper towel and wrap our clay in absorb plastic. The stuff on the inside, though, is still really liquidy. It's kind of like runny diarrhea. And if we left this out exposed to the air, eventually that moisture would evaporate and the clay would